What is up, bros? Me, Josh here. In today's video, we are going over a fun game I had in the ZOW, and we're talking about the upcoming ZOW buff that is going to be happening to this ship, and kind of my thoughts about the ZOW buff, and is it needed, is it not needed. But overall, this is one of my favorite ships at tier 10. I love this ship, and sometimes you just want to see the world burn in World of Warships, and you go out and you play the ZOW, the Conqueror, whatever. To me, my go-to ship is the ZOW. It's one of the couple ships that I have. The Space Camos, which I thought was one of the coolest looking camos for this. I thought it looked really good in the Republic as well. But this thing just looks so badass. But this ship is so good, and it's so good at playing ZOW role. And what do I mean by that? Super low detection, super insane guns with the big 203s, and good torp arcs for getting chased away. Now, if you guys don't know what's going to end up happening, is I'll put a link down below to the dev blog for it. But this is about, I guess, over a week ago now, that they announced that the ZOW is getting a buff to its torp. Now, the torps are technically 8 kilometers right now, and they're really fast. If you've ever heard like the ZOW torp meme, they're so fast. Basically, if you won't have any time because they're super fast. So what they've been at 8 kilometers, and this has been from tier 5 all the way up till tier 9, is that the IGN line has had 10 kilometer torps, and then the ZOW gets 8 kilometer torps, but they're super fast. Now the ZOW is getting buffed to 12 kilometers, and I don't quite get the point. Now, the ZOW has a detection of like 9.8, I believe, off the top of my head. This DM had my number for the longest time. My number, so props to this guy. But it seems really weird to give the ZOW, which I don't think needs a buff. I think the ZOW is in a really good place. If you guys remember closed beta and part of open beta where the ZOW could actually stealth fire, that's when the ZOW needed a bit of a nerf. And I think overall, for what the ZOW has done, and even got a little bit of a health nerf as well, that was a long time ago, but the ZOW is actually getting a bit of a buff here, and I don't quite get why. It seems so weird that they're going to give a cruiser longer torps than almost the entire IGN DD line. Another feels bad, man, for the IGN DD line, which I think has been a neglected line for a long time. And to me, it seems like an unneeded buff. I think the ZOW is in a really good place. It's been really good in clan battles for what it does. It's been really good in ranked battles. A lot of people were very successful with it during ranked battles, and it continues to be one of my highest producing damage ships with the ZOW because it's so good at going undetected and putting out massive damage. And when you can catch something broadside, which you'll see later in this game, it's absolutely brutal. This thing is just such a beast. It's the perfect stealthy assassin of tier 10s, and you know, it kind of lost a little bit of limelight in this past ranked season, in my opinion, to what the Minotaur could do, because the Minotaur turned into be this this kind of monster of a ship. But this thing is so good at playing the flank, being stealthy, and going undetected. Now, the thing about it was the torp launchers. I don't know if you can really see them. I guess you kind of can. They're in the back of the ship right here. It has a really... it's kind of a tough torp angle. They're really kind of known as, they would be called chase torps, because they're in the ass end of the ship. And what does that mean? That it's really tough to get any torps going forward, as, let's say, you compare it to the Hindenburg, which has a lot better torp arcs for basically torping forward. The ZOW, you have to give up a lot of broadsides, so they're what we kind of call chase torps. So if something's chasing you, then you can put torps out as it's following you, but you've always been detected. Now what this is going to give you is like a 2.3 kilometer, 9k, and a fire. That's ZOW life right there. How can you not like that, right? Sometimes you just gotta see the world burn. And I think this dude gets super lucky right here. I think this is the salvo that I thought I was gonna just absolutely smash him. Super accurate ship. And 7 overpens. Broadside Des Moines. Makes sense, right? Makes sense. But what this ship is doing now, and what this ship is getting, is it's getting stealth torping. And, you know, that's awesome, right? It's gonna be great. It's gonna make the ZOW so much better. But is it needed? Like, so, there's a lot of buffs coming out recently, and sorry for that. That's when I spam the map. If you can actually get an angle up, and you can see what's happening right there. So it's a good little thing, that kind of like a jiggle on the map. But there's a bunch of buffs coming out recently of like, do they really need? We're seeing it with the Grozavoy, with the with the them thinking about putting it on radar, and they eventually took that back, and they're giving it a heal, which is, I think, okay. But there's a lot of buffs to stuff that I think are starting to come into this game that I don't think are needed. I don't think this ship needed a buff. Now we're hearing other stuff for like the Moskva, and it's all this stuff that it's just, I don't think it's needed. Like maybe I'm like the weird one. How can you not like the Zao? Honestly, how can you not like the Zao? But it seems so weird to buff something that doesn't seem... Again, I'm gonna enjoy it, right? It's a ship I like to play. It's a ship I don't play as much as I should. I like it, but it seems so weird to buff something that I think doesn't need it. I think there are other ships that could use a bit of a buff. But I think tier 10s are honestly, it's fun to have this unique ship, and being able to stealth torp in this thing, I think one makes a bigger skill gap for the ship, which isn't honestly all that terrible because it's high tier. But one thing that we've seen in that it could potentially promote to is something we've seen in stuff like the Atago, which is people launching torps and treating these a bit more like. Now, of course, we're talking about high tiers, so people should know not to do this, but now it's current day warships, and you can't really trust many people on high tiers these days. But you're gonna get that people treating the ship more like a destroyer than an actual cruiser, which means they'll just stay back and torp, and then you get those second line torpedoes that you sometimes get. And I think I got robbed right here as well. But again, it seems like such a weird buff. Let me know in the comments below if you guys think this is even needed. And yeah, that was so weird. He must be more angled than I thought he was. But like this ship, I love this ship. It's one of my first tier 10s. I think it was probably like one of my first 3 or 4 tier 10s, and it's so good. And again, I don't play this ship enough. I really need to start playing it more. And it's one of my go-to ships to just have a lot of fun. But I think it was good where it was. You know, it was, I think, completely overpowered for a long time with its stealth firing, and they fixed that. And then, you know, they took away a little bit of health. Sure, whatever. All right, you lost a little bit. It's one of the lowest health cruisers, but it's one of those ships that has, if you've ever played against it, Zao troll armor and blah blah blah. It's kind of its own little meme. But to add this extra little bit of range, I'm just not sure. Now it's going to. They are going to be slower torps than they are now, but they're still going to do massive amount of damage, almost 24k, 12 kilometer range, 67 knot torps, the reload of 164 seconds, detectability from or 1.7 kilometers. But honestly, if you are seeing these torps of anything, you're most likely going to take it because that's just really fast at that range still. And it seems so weird that you're getting I guess one, it's unneeded, and two, you're going to be getting longer range torps than almost the entire IGN DD line. Like, that's a line we should kind of focus on than buffing a tier 10 cruiser right now. I think the IGN DDs are in a terrible spot. People enjoy playing them, I understand that. I'll see that in the comments that people are IGN DD mains, but they're in a terrible spot right now, and they just get completely outclassed by everything else. And I just don't think this is really needed. But anyways, we'll start talking about the gameplay and how much fun this ship is. If you guys haven't gone down the IGN Cruiser line, I think it's great. I think this is a really good line too for newer players because what does it do? The line is very similar, so there's not much that changes in playstyle. Now people might think that's pretty boring, but if you have learned to play let's say the Furitaka, you're going to be able to play the rest of the line because it all plays very similar. So I enjoy that. And here, like, that's about how much, I mean, now I've obviously overturning, but you're going to have to give up a lot of broadside with this kind of stuff, so that's why I call them those chase torps, if you guys wanted a good example. But with this, though, being able to really kind of use that with a 2 and a 2.3, I think it's a 2.3 kilometer, I think it's 9.7 actually. Yeah, 9.7 detection. So 2.3 kilometer buffer on your torps. This thing has got to be an absolute monster, and you have to really be worrying about torps. You'll actually be able to get torps on both sides towards something. So 2 sets of 5 67 kilometer torps with the potential of doing almost 24k on each of those. Ooh boy, this thing is going to be a monster. For competitive, it's going to be really good too. It's going to be even better at holding down that side. So this would be kind of crazy. But anyways, what a lot of people don't do in this ship, and a lot of people kind of make fun of this ship, is broadside Moscow with AP. Yeah, this is just good stuff right here. business in the front, party in the back. We'll just split up those cruisers, and what we're going to do right now is I was trying to think of what the best kind of play was. We'll bow into this guy, try to stick on the buffalo. This buffalo ended up pushing, so we'll get guns on this guy, absolutely dunk him. And we're going to try to go for the holy guacamole. I mean, come on. Zao, it's laser accurate. It's going to be GG easy. This dude has to turn in, and because he's going to run into an island, and then we'll just save the torps for this Moskva. Man, just farming sits right now. But I really enjoy this ship. It's just kind of an interesting topic. Let me know what you guys think about the buff to the Zao. Do you guys think it's, do you think it's even needed? I mean, yeah, we're all excited for it. And I was hoping to not get murdered by this Moskva. As you can see, there's a Torpingo right there. So he shoots AP anyway. Torps are in on him. That dude's going to go down. There's a nice little Kraken. And I'm glad that he stopped all those Torps, because I probably would have killed my teammate. But don't mind that. But yeah, a fun little game, being aggressive in the Zao. Zao is kind of known for being a back row sniper, so we got the push in here because of the Cyclone. And as everyone knows, I hate Cyclones, but we got to be a bit more aggressive, so hey, it's all good in the end. But a nice little 130k game, nothing too crazy, but just seeing these buffs, and I kind of just want to make a video and see what you guys think of it. Do you think it's needed? Are you excited for it? Kind of that. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And this game's about to end. A nice little 9 citadels. We got the First Blood and the Kraken. Man, I wish I had my my Yamamoto captain on this. That would have been pretty cool to see that. Shot down a plane. Just farming citadels. Farming citadels. Broadside cruisers, best side cruisers. So, anyways, guys, that is going to be it for me. Just want to make a quick little video. I know we've seen a lot of updates recently, and a lot of them have kind of made it a little confusing of, like, why are they adding this into the game? I don't want to harp on it too much, but it just seems kind of weird to me for some of these buffs to come in. But anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, let me know in the comments what you guys think of the Zao buff. Do you think it's needed? Are you excited for it? What would you rather have done? And do you think the Zao is just in a good spot right now? I honestly think it is. I think it's a fun ship to play, and I think it's good. That's it for me, guys. I will see you in the next video.